Hello dear students, welcome to my science class. I was explaining chapter 5, that is separation of substances, which is the fifth chapter of class 6 NCERT science. So in the previous two parts I have explained the different methods of separation. The first method I explained was hand picking, then threshing, then winnowing, sieving, sedimentation, decantation and filtration. Now today we will start with evaporation. There is an activity in your book. You have to add 2 spoons of salt to water in a beaker and you have to stir it. Can you see any salt in the beaker after stirring? No, because salt is soluble in water. Now you have to heat the beaker containing the salt water. Let the water boil away. What is left in the beaker? What is left in the beaker? When you will boil the water and you have to wait till all the water is evaporated. Then you will observe that a small amount of salt is left behind. So in this activity, we use the process of evaporation to separate a mixture of water and salt. What is evaporation? Evaporation is the conversion of water into vapors. What is evaporation? It is the process of conversion of water into water vapors. And this process continuously occurs wherever water is present because of sunlight. The heat of sun, because due to the heat of sun, evaporation occurs continuously. Do you know from where salt comes from? It comes from the sea. When seawater is allowed to stand in shallow pits, water gets heated by sunlight and slowly turns into water vapor through evaporation. And in few days the water evaporates completely, leaving behind the salt, and which is further purified and you get the sea salt. This is the method how salt is prepared. These are shallow pits where the sea water is left and the water gets evaporated, leaving behind the salt. This is the salt and then this is further purified. Now, so these were the different methods. We have studied the method of hand picking, threshing, winnowing, sieving, sedimentation, decantation and filtration and evaporation. Now, for separating few substances, we require more than one of these methods. Let's see this. Take a mixture of sand and salt. How will you separate this mixture? We cannot separate it by hand picking or any other method, neither sieving because both the particle size of both is the same, nor winnowing because almost the weight is also the same. So what can we do? You have to take a beaker or a vessel and you have to add some water to it and mix this mixture into it. What will happen? As we know that salt is soluble in water, but sand is not. So what will happen? Sand will settle down. That is what will happen? Sedimentation. We have used sedimentation. And then we will separate the water by the process of decantation. So which process we have used to separate sand? We have used sedimentation and decantation. Now, what does a decanted liquid contain? We know that salt is there in the liquid. So how will we procure salt? Evaporation, correct. The method that we have studied right now, which is evaporation, it will be used for separating water and salt. So if we require only salt, we will just evaporate like that. But if we require both the components, that is salt as well as water, then what we'll do? Transfer this liquid to a kettle and close its lid. Heat the kettle for some time in this way. And when steam starts coming out, when water vapor is coming out, you can take a metallic lid like this and put some ice on it. What will happen? When this water vapor will come in contact with this lid, since it is cooler, what will happen? Condensation will happen, and water vapor will get converted into water, which we can collect it in a separate vessel. And you have to heat the kettle till all the water gets evaporated. So what will be left behind? Salt will be left behind. So we have used two methods to separate sand and salt. First was sedimentation and decantation, through which we have separated the salt. First we dissolved this mixture of sand and salt in water, since sand is insoluble in water and salt is soluble in water. So salt will form a solution and sand will settle down as sediment, and we can decant the liquid. The left behind part is sand, and then with the use of evaporation we can separate the salt, and using the condensation we can separate the water. So take a metal plate. I have already explained all this. So what is condensation? The process of conversion of water vapor into liquid form is called as condensation. So you must have seen condensation. An example of condensation is milk. When your mama boils the milk, after that she covers the vessel with a lid, and when you try to remove the lid after some time, you can observe the water droplets on the lid. It is because water has evaporated from the vessel, from the milk, and it has condensed on the lid. The water vapor that was there condensed on the lid of the vessel. So we have separated salt, sand and water using the process of decantation, filtration, evaporation and condensation. Now, the most important part. Paheli faced a problem while recovering salt mixed with sand. She has mixed a packet of salt in a small amount of sand. She then tried the method suggested in activity 7 to recover the salt. She found, however, that she could recover only a small part of salt that she had taken. What could have gone wrong? So what Paheli did? She suppose she has taken a glass of water and she added a complete packet of salt to it, and there was sand also. And when she tried to recover it by sedimentation, decantation and evaporation, she was only able to get a small quantity of salt. So let's see what was her mistake. Can water dissolve any amount of substance? We found that many substances dissolve in water and form a solution. We say that these substances are soluble in water. What will happen if we go on adding more and more of these substances? What will happen? After some time, we will not be able to dissolve any more substance to water, because the water has saturated now. We will see what is saturated solution. A saturated solution is a solution in which no more solute can be added. Solute is the substance which is being added to the solvent or water. Solvent means in which we are dissolving. The liquid in which we are dissolving is the solvent, and the solid which is being dissolved is the solute. So here salt is the solute and water is the solvent. And when we mix both of these together, it makes a solution. So every liquid has a capacity. So water has also capacity to dissolve salt. Now if you try to dissolve more solute or salt to water, after some time what will happen? It will not be dissolved. So this was the mistake that Paheli did. She was trying to dissolve more salt than the capacity of water. So a little of salt just remained or just settled down with along with the sand, and it cannot be recovered. That is why she got only a little amount of salt. So here is an activity. You have to take a pan, a spoon, salt and water. Pour half a cup of water in beaker, add 1 teaspoonful of salt, and you have to continuously add salt, and after some time you will see that no more salt can be dissolved, and this state is called as saturated state. This means that no more salt can be dissolved in the amount of water we have taken. The solution is said to be saturated. And this was the Paheli's mistake, that she was adding the solute or the salt after the solution has become saturated. Now suppose she did not have sufficient quantity of water to dissolve all the salt. So can we dissolve more solute or more salt in the same quantity of water? Do you have any other such method to increase the solubility of water? Yes, we have. We can heat the solution. Heating increases the solubility of heating increases the capacity of water to absorb or to dissolve more solute or more salt. So here is an activity: take some water in a beaker and mix salt in it until it cannot dissolve any more salt. So that means we have to make a saturated solution. Now add a small quantity of salt to this saturated solution and heat it. What will you observe? That now we are able to add more salt to it. So yes, heating increases the solubility of the liquid. We can dissolve more liquid. So larger quantity of salt can be dissolved in water on heating. Does water dissolve equal amount of different soluble substances? For that we have one more activity. So we have seen that we can increase the amount to be dissolved in water by heating the liquid or by heating water. Now we have to check whether all the substances can be does water dissolves equal amount of different substances, like the same amount of salt and sugar can be dissolved in water. This activity we will study in our next class. Till now, thank you students.